Doc Rivers was brought in to at least maintain the Milwaukee Bucks' momentum from their dominant season this year, but he's doing the exact opposite. Despite being third in the Eastern Conference standings, the team's winning percentage of 64% and 21 losses are quite disappointing, and it looks like Rivers' coaching might be the problem. It's turning into a story of a coach who is hired to ruin a franchise. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more NBA content. Let's be clear about one thing. Doc Rivers was among the coaching greats, but his reign and controversial leadership over the Bucks is making everyone think differently. The worst part? He's trying to act like the team's poor performance is not his fault. This is one of the things that most people are most frustrated about in the first place. His time with the Bucks has been anything but smooth, marked by a series of highs and lows that reflect his career as a coach. Is his legacy as great as it was, or is this a classic case of being washed over the years? Some people just aren't cut out to be on top forever. Before arriving in Milwaukee, Rivers had experience with the Orlando Magic, Boston Celtics, and LA Clippers. Coaching the Celtics was one of the most important moments of his career because this was the time he led the team to an NBA championship in 2008. But even then, he wasn't safe from criticism. Fans weren't happy that he disappointed the playoffs and wasn't able to leverage star players from the rosters to their full potential. Take Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan from the Los Angeles Clippers, for example. Lob City was supposed to be thrilling, but they fell short in the playoffs, and Rivers took the blame. The Clippers faced challenges with injuries, especially with Paul and Griffin at critical moments. There was a lack of team chemistry, and the leadership dynamics affected everyone's performance. If Rivers had made some tactical adjustments or fostered a better team environment to overcome these issues, who knows the greatness we could have witnessed. But what changed the Bucks the most was the trade for Damian Lillard. This move sent shockwaves through the NBA. His arrival was seen as a masterstroke, promising to elevate the Bucks' offense and providing Giannis Antetokounmpo with a lethal ally to run with. Since Rivers struggled with building chemistry in his previous tenures, this was going to be quite the challenge too. But if he managed to do the impossible, every defensive lineup in the NBA would be terrified of the Bucks. When Adrian Griffin was still in charge, the team enjoyed a great start to the season. His coaching philosophies and strategies worked well with the team because they knew how to apply everything on the court. But Griffin's successful time was short-lived thanks to all the drama and conflicts behind the scenes, which ultimately led to his dismissal as coach. So when Doc was called to steer the ship, people had mixed reactions. Given his track record, a lot of people were optimistic about him coaching the Bucks, but after seeing the team's performance later in the season, all hope began to crumble into tiny pieces. When he tried backing away from the team's struggles, no one was happy. They argued that a coach of his caliber should take more responsibility for his lack of skills. It's clear there were layers to his issues as a coach. From the initial excitement everyone felt over the Lillard trade and his promising chemistry with Giannis when Griffin was in charge, the Bucks looked unstoppable. The thing is, he's been in the game since 1999 and has established himself as a coach capable of inspiring his teams to exceed expectations. We still remember the championship with the Celtics in 2008 since that was the pinnacle of his career. Lillard and Giannis just couldn't find their rhythm even though they were at the top of their game early in the season. They showed the world how a blend of inside and outside play was done. But keep in mind, this was when Griffin was still in charge. That's why everyone thinks Adrian Griffin is still the best thing that happened to the Bucks. His defensive strategy was good. It helped players develop their skills for the Bucks' success. It was as if Griffin found the best formula for the team, and they were destined to be the best team in the NBA without a doubt. But things took a massive turn when a new coach entered the Milwaukee court. The reasons for Griffin's departure were kept under wraps, and everyone wanted to see where Rivers would take their team. Unfortunately, his coaching styles and decision-making skills aren't up to the mark, and the Bucks failed to display the rhythm they once had early in the season. He talked to the media after his appointment at Fiserv Forum alongside John Horst. His connection to Milwaukee is rooted in his college basketball days at Marquette, which added some emotional background. Turns out his entire childhood and education was based in Milwaukee under coaching legends Rick Majerus, Al McGuire, and Hank Raymond. The reason the Bucks were interested in hiring him was his 4 decades as a player and a coach. That experience is enough to land you a spot in the Hall of Fame. Stars like Giannis, Lillard, and Brook Lopez also caught Doc's eye. His first press conference shed light on controversial topics, including his alleged role as a consultant to former head coach Griffin. Rivers denied these claims, emphasizing that he wasn't involved in the drama whatsoever and is still in contact with the former coach. He even claims they're still friends with regular communication. The Bucks are struggling in their defense, which is a huge concern for the team's future. Both Rivers and Horst acknowledged a desperate need for improvement in this area, with Rivers noting the importance of getting the team on the same page in this matter. Changes had to be made to suit the talents of Giannis and Lillard. But think about how Griffin left with a record of 30-13, and Rivers stooped the team down to 38-21. That's just 8 wins and 8 losses. Yeah, not the achievement the team was looking for. And the worst part? He blames the players for the team's failures. Think about his tenure with the 76ers and a disappointing playoff exit. His team lost a 3-2 lead against the Celtics, and his coaching career was about to plummet down with nothing to bounce back to. Turns out, his team's inability to maintain composure in crucial moments of the playoffs was a recurring theme. In other words, Rivers doesn't really do well under pressure. Back when he was with the 76ers, he criticized Ben Simmons for the team's second-round loss to the Atlanta Hawks, despite Simmons' contributions as a defender throughout the season. Doc even commented on James Harden's role in the team's shortcomings, which led him to joining the Los Angeles Clippers. One of the reasons fans are resenting their new coach is because they need proper guidance in a very important moment in the season. The Bucks are seen as a veteran team, and they were supposed to be ready for a title by now. But with a struggling coach, the players can't really shine as bright as they should be. Everyone mentions Giannis and Lillard, a dynamic duo that could be the most lethal weapon in NBA history. With these two in your arsenal and still failing to win games, all eyes are on the coach, but he seems to not show any accountability for his shortcomings. Rivers' history of playoff underperformance is shown in a statistic, highlighting his team's 16-33 record in games where they could clinch a series win in a 7-game format. This stat alone raises the question of whether or not he's the right one for the Bucks, despite his Milwaukee heritage. Failed strategist and motivating capability aside, the narrative shifts to his reputation as a communicator and team builder, both of which are just not up to par. When he was with the LA Clippers, internal conflicts and playoff disappointments were more than prevalent. How do you feel about the Bucks' future with Doc Rivers at the helm? What do you think will happen first? The Bucks win another championship, or they initiate a complete rebuild? To put it mildly, nobody's thrilled right now, and there's a ton of room for improvement so players can improve their skills. Having an all-star lineup like the Bucks is every coach's dream, but right now, it's like the coach's playbook needs a serious upgrade. Everyone's practically drawing up better game plans themselves out of sheer frustration with how their beloved team is performing. Currently, Giannis, Lillard, and Lopez are leading the charge for the Bucks, although Lopez is sitting in 5th place in the lineup, averaging just 13 points per game. It's hard to tell if the team can make a comeback right now, so what Doc Rivers really needs is a miracle, or maybe an early retirement. If you enjoyed this video, I guarantee you'll enjoy these two as well.